Hi, and welcome to Eczema Phoenix, where we learn how to transform the way we live with eczema. My name is TeresaAlabata, and I am overdue for a life update. Gosh, I think it's been a few months since I last posted my last video on this channel, and a lot has happened. And I'm here to give you an update on why I had to take a hiatus and pretty much hibernate this past winter for real, and what is going on with me now, with my health, with my views on eczema, and where I want to take this channel next. Because 2019 was an ass kicker. I'm a thorough person. I like to cover all my bases as much as possible. So I have a list written down on a whiteboard on the side. So if I'm looking to the side, that's why. So if you follow my Instagram, instagram.com/Eczema Phoenix, you would have seen a post, if you follow me, saying that I just needed to take time out to take a break for self-care. I just hit a wall. I really hit rock bottom last November to December, and I just couldn't figure out what to do next. Also, my health was in such a sham, and it all began last August when I agreed to go to Italy for the first time for a friend. It was to keep her company. She was feeling unsafe, and I've never been, so I just took her up on the offer. And that week in Sardinia, Italy, was cool. You know, it was very chill. It was very island-like. It was interesting to see that part of Italy. You know, it wasn't the central urban fashion capital that's like Milan or Rome or something like that. It was just, you know, real people, sort of like the New Zealand part of Italy in a way, like just down to earth people, farmers who are really chill, just really, you know, community and family oriented, and extremely safe. And you know, and that part of Italy is quite humid because it's on the lower part, which is I think closer to the equator. So yeah, you know, it was a cool experience, and I really enjoyed the people. I found them to be very warm and proud of their culture. I put some videos, I think, on it. I think I posted a video on it, the last one, that mentioned getting pickpocketed, but that was just during a layover in Milan. That was not Sardinia. It is a special place. It's a place I would be open to visiting sometime, just not during the hottest month of the freaking year. It's like, no wonder the plane tickets were such a good deal. Like, do not go to Sardinia in August. You will fry. And if you have eczema, you will be burned to a crisp. Oh my god. Gosh, unless that's good for you, but it wasn't for me. So that week I totally indulged. I had my Juice Plus whole food capsules, which I recommend for people with like poor digestion and immunity. They are legit, and I'll put a link down to them for my health brand ambassador link with them. And yes, I do get a bit of a kickback from it, but I don't feel guilty about it because it is legit. And if you saw my pictures from earlier last year when I was recovering from my spider bite, I mean, those capsules really took me home, and I really love them. So I brought those. It did save me to a degree. I do think that my symptoms would have been way worse without them, but even they couldn't stop all of the inflammation and all of the heat from the weather and kind of the stress of getting around, and just all the sugar and carbs and coffee and chocolate and dairy and seafood and pasta. Like, all of that was tasty in the moment, but oh boy, did I pay for it. I paid for it hard after that. That was in August. That was the first week of August, and the rest of August I was suffering. I was swollen. I was cracking. I was oozing. Oh man, I was blistering. Like, I just looked like a sunburn victim, even though it was just from the food. It was really diet related for me. It was very food related. It was very inflammation related. So bad. Then I was starting to get better with my own herbs and balms and things that I do for myself. And if you want to know what that is, I'll put some links to my playlist down below so you can see what I do to get myself back together. But I was starting to see a light at the end of the tunnel. Then Labor Day weekend hit, and at the time, guy I was dating at the time invited me to go to Stinson Beach with him and his family, and it was like the most fun ever. It was like the best beach day ever. It was like out of a movie. It was so fun, and we all had a great time. I posted pictures on my Instagram, lovey-dovey stuff with us, and all that stuff. But it was a hot ass day. I was not fully recovered, and I ate some things in there, maybe carbs, and I think I was still eating meat and stuff like that that were just really inflammatory for me still at the time. Right after that one day at the beach, for the whole day, it was like a whole day, so maybe like 8 hours or something. I just was back to square one with the swelling, with the rashes, with the cracking on my neck, with the soreness, with the itchiness. Like it just, yeah, it was like coming back from Italy all over again. Oh my God, it was really, really painful. And at that point, I was just on my knees for real with pain every day for a couple of weeks. And at that point, I was like, I need help. I definitely cannot handle this on my own. I am woman and adult enough to know when I need help, I need professional help. And I want the right professional help. So I went searching for a practiced traditional Chinese dermatologist, and I found one in San Francisco, and her name is Dr. U. I will put her information down below. She is on Google Maps and is like the sweetest Chinese doctor I've ever met. Like she's, no offense to Chinese doctors from China, but because while the medicine and while their skills are on point, sometimes the bedside manner is more businesslike and abrupt than what Westerners are used to, with just a little bit more chitter chatter and small talk and things like that, which are unnecessary to being treated, but they just make the process a little bit more pleasant. And so she has the best of both worlds. And yeah, so in October I started to see her and slowly started to get better in October. But I think because of just all of the indulging that I had been doing, still kind of carrying over from Italy and a little bit around Labor Day weekend, I kind of went back and forth a lot, and I struggled with my own self-discipline and self-control with food that I wanted to eat versus food that I should eat. And so I would get a lot of progress when I followed the protocol, and of course I would backtrack when I fell off the wagon. And that was like a process for a while, just remembering how to be very self-disciplined again. And in October, I don't know, I just started to feel like really depressed, just because of it's like I was just recovering from the spider bite all year since December 2018. 2019, I was starting to see the light with the whole food capsules. I was getting my shit together. And then August hit, and 1 week of pleasure brought months of pain. And I just felt like I was starting all over again with the spider bite. And it was hard. It was really hard to deal with that, because I am on this channel and I have a following. I'm not like 1 million subscribers or anything like that, and I don't need to have that. But I still have people who look up to me, and that mattered, and I just didn't feel like a good example, and I wasn't taking my own advice. So then I stopped coaching, and that is why my website is down and why there's no booking calendar right now. And if there are people who want to ask me questions or book a session with me for advice or to get feedback on something, that is something that I do now individually by email, and that I have paid through PayPal on a case-by-case basis. But yeah, I just had to start cutting things out of my life that I couldn't keep up with anymore, that I didn't feel like I lived up to anymore at the time, and that I was uncertain about if I wanted to continue. So that was just hard, but it was the truth, and I had to deal with it, and that's what it was. So I'm proud of myself for making those decisions and taking off the pressure as much as possible when I did. I Also cut off my my skincare line, Alabata Beauty. I definitely will revive Alabata Beauty for sure. It's just right now I don't want to worry about being self-employed. You know, it's a lot to do, and I was doing it all by myself. Like I was really one woman show with anything that anyone who knows me has seen me do. I've been running it all by myself. The admin, the marketing, the social media, the tech stuff, oh gosh, the emails, the DMs, all the messaging, all the content, all the editing, all the uploading, and all the steps that it takes to be a content creator. You know, I just reached a breaking point, and so I took off as much pressure as possible over myself. I took it all off. And I just decided to veg out because I was in such poor health that I just had to focus on myself. And I have the luxury of living at my mom's house right now. Not forever. Hopefully, you know, I have plans to, you know, get myself together and be able to move out eventually. But right now, this is where it's at, and I'm grateful for it. And I'm grateful for the resources and the support that I have at this time. And yeah, you know, during October, I kind of coped by watching other YouTubers like Shane Dawson, the whole Jeffree Star collab with the Conspiracy Palette, and you know, I got it. I just like love that series so much, and it got me through so much pain. It was a great distraction, and it was a great education on the beauty business, and like, oh, you know, if I ever want to take all about beauty, you know, to another level, you know, what would be a part of that process? Who knows? Yeah, but it's a possibility. It was interesting, and I was grateful for that. But yeah, during this time in the winter, just my energy was so low. I was losing my hair. I was getting worried. My anxiety was getting worse, and you can still see, like, I still have a cowlick, but some of my hair is growing back out because I'm taking horsetail supplements, which are really great for regrowing the hair. I'm also drinking nettle tea on a nearly daily basis, and that is also really great for growing out the hair, remineralizing the bones, teeth, overall health, great source of vitamins as well. And so during this time I also felt very lost and uncertain, like, oh, well, I couldn't keep up with any of the businesses that I started in 2019. Like, what am I doing? Like, I really believed in these things. I was passionate. I was getting great results. I was getting great feedback from my customers and my clients, but even being good at those things, like, I just can't keep them up. Like, what am I meant to do? Do I even want to do any of those things anymore? And it was just last December, and last winter was just our dark time. So then that was October, and then, you know, November came about. It was my birthday, and I just came to the realization that the guy I was dating at the time was not right for me. And this is not our first time together. I was with him, and then I broke up with him, and I pursued my dream of solo traveling, came back home, kind of felt bad about how things left off because it was really dramatic, and it was like I was really angry, and I felt bad. And so I wanted to reach out to him to see how he was and to see if we could be friends, and we tried that, but there was just a lot of chemistry, and so we got back together, kind of. Not actually being officially, you know, we didn't, you know, use titles the second time around, and maybe it was a sign. But yeah, around my birthday, I was just like, oh, it's my birthday, you know, full, you know, another cycle, another year here. Am I truly happy with everything in my life? I started to question everything, like from October through December, maybe even to January. I just started questioning everything, like, okay, my businesses fell through, my health's declining. Am I actually happy with the people in my life? Like, is this person really a friend, or are they a friend because I want to, you know, I don't know, like I was just being nice, or it was convenient or something, or like, and I had certain friends that I thought were friends for a long time, but then they were just always busy and just couldn't be bothered to just hang out once or make a phone call or just anything. And I had some friends that I met through social media who I realized, you know, they were good people, and I think we were both well-meaning, but I realized I didn't actually feel that close to them as much as they might have felt close to me. And I feel really bad saying that, but it's just the truth. And, you know, that's the thing about being someone on social media, is that, like, when you're just open about yourself, people know you. They know you because you share yourself. And I'm an open book. And, you know, I'm just one of those really nice, empathetic people who wants to help everyone feel good and feel better in their lives. And then some people take it um, to mean that I don't know, like open to being very close, even though we haven't maybe met in person or have a history, you know. Um, Maybe they don't, and I'm like that. Like there's a lot of YouTubers who I really love, who I feel like, oh, I feel like if we just met or we just talked, we would be good friends, or wow, they seem really aligned with my values. I bet we would get along really well. But it's just also the realistic thing is just if you haven't actually had in person, like I don't know, offline interaction. At least for me, being very old fashioned, it's just kind of hard to really have that offline connection or that connection out off of social media that is genuine, that is really built on something. Um, and I mean, I appreciate the people who like me and who could see me as someone they'd want to be friends with. But like, I realize like I'm just like a really private person. Like, it's like I'm an open book, but there are things that I keep to myself. I value my privacy, and when it comes to people I consider friends, it takes time for me. I'm really a slow mover when it comes to people I can really like trust. And it's not to discourage anyone who I've connected with through social media. It's just it's a different level. It's a different level of the interaction through social media versus what I consider like real interaction off of social media. I don't know. Some people say that they have like equal friendships through social media, and then it becomes like a friendship off of social media. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out for myself. Like, I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm not perfect, and I'm sorry if I offended anyone. I don't know. I'm just speaking my truth. But I'm basically like an old-fashioned person. I prefer like phone calls and in-person interaction to really like feel a person out. And that's what I prefer. So, that was a realization I came to in the winter. I'm looking at my whiteboard. So then my point with the realness in November, after my birthday, I realized that who is now my ex, the guy who is now my ex, just was not for me. We just really have different sets of standards, and I mean, the love was real, the connection at the time felt real, but I just had realized I changed when I was overseas. I changed the year I solo traveled to New Zealand and Australia and all these great places in the South Pacific. I changed, and my standards got higher, and my confidence was higher, and what I wanted out of life and out of a partner or just a boyfriend it was more than what he could offer. And I know he did his best, and I did my best, and we did our best with what we had at the time. We just knew what we knew at the time, and we worked with it, and there was there was something there, but I realized it wasn't something that was strong enough to carry me to the next phase in life that I want to be, which is somewhere more stable and committed, and eventually, with a family and having kids and all those sort of things. And I just need more. I need someone who wants more out of life. And there's nothing wrong with being simple or just, being, not as ambitious as I am, but I'm ambitious. So I want someone who has some ambition, some passion, and who knows themselves, like who really knows who they are and what they want to do with their lives. So, and I do wish him the best. And I think this time around, it was more of a mutual breakup, really. Yeah, it fizzled out, and now it's over, and I've had a few months to recover, and I am over it. I am grateful, and I am happy. So, in December, I was obviously dealing with a breakup, and so I went to a deep depression. I felt like I went not just rock bottom, but like sub zero, like, I don't know, yeah, just like underneath, underneath, what's the right word for that? Like, just beyond underground. Yeah, it was beyond rock bottom. And I went really numb, and I really just didn't care about anything or any guys or any goals or anything. I feel really had nothing. I really felt like I had nothing. And I didn't feel like I had anyone in my life who I could confide in too much, except for maybe one or two friends who both happen to be Kiwis, who both happen to be from New Zealand. So I love my Kiwis. But yeah, that was really it. And thank God for friends. But in January, oh, I forgot to say too, back in November, for my birthday, I treated myself to guitar lessons because it's something I had always wanted to do. And I just figured, why not pull the trigger while I'm still like, I don't know, like figuring out my profession and finances out. I had quit all my businesses, but at least I would have something going on. I wanted to just have something going on in my life that I could look forward to and that could be consistent and something that I could get excited about. Like, I love learning and I love expanding my skill set. So I knew that I would love guitar. And throughout all of this depressing stuff and pain and recovery and all this sort of stuff, I was blessed to be paired with who I feel like is a really perfect guitar teacher for me. His name is Tyler. He's from Vibo Music School. And if you're watching, you're awesome. Thank you for being my teacher. I just realized, like, even with previous guitar teachers, like, they wouldn't really teach me the idiosyncrasies and technicalities of guitar playing. Like, they would just go straight to jamming, straight to chords, straight to like rocking out and memorizing songs. And I wanted to know what the notes were. I wanted to understand how the chords were formed and why and the timing. And I didn't want to just memorize songs. I really want to master this skill. I love music, so I want to really know it inside and out thoroughly. I want to be able to analyze and break it down and like rearrange it. Maybe one day I'll compose my own music. So despite all of this negative stuff that was going on, the guitar lessons were something that I really felt carried me through. And my teacher was just really encouraging and pointed out a lot of, I guess, qualities that I had that were in my favor to learning guitar and learning music. And I just felt really encouraged by it and really positive. And I felt my confidence building back up. Like, well, like, life is sucking really hard right now. I'm in a lot of pain, but at least I'm learning guitar pretty well. Or, according to my teacher, I was learning guitar at a fairly quick rate for a roundabout newbie. So that just like really changed my mood, and I knew pursuing something musical would turn me around. It's like if life's hard enough, you might as well enjoy something. You might as well do something that's fun, something that you enjoy, that makes you feel happy, that makes you feel hope. Like, there's still some hope left in the world for yourself. And that's what it was for me. So then by the time January rolled around, I really started to feel better. Not 100%, but I was like at 80-ish%. And I felt confident enough to start applying for jobs again. I realized I just don't want to do self-employment right now. I want someone else to take care of the paperwork, the admin, the taxes, the financial stuff. I just want to go somewhere, do my thing, and be out and not worry about it all, overnight, 24/7. I just want to have my role, stick to it, and then go home and do whatever I want. So I applied to a bunch of different places. I thought I could do office work, but then I'm like, I don't think I really want to sit around all day. So then I started doing like event staffing work and just trying to explore different avenues in different industries. And if you are job hunting and looking for, I don't know, like a new direction in life, I think event staffing, like, or temp work, is a great way to go. So you could explore different avenues and different roles and see what you like. And I realized I really like people. I really like in-person interaction. I have an introverted side. I need my space. I need my privacy, but I like people. And it is fun and energizing for me to to help them out, to provide customer service. And I realized, oh, I think I need to be somewhere with more one-on-one, or at least like just more live customer interaction. Ideally something I could help them with, something that I know a lot about. And I think I want to be on my feet more, which was like, I didn't expect that. I thought, like, I don't know. I just didn't realize that until I did event staffing. So I did that, and then I realized what sort of work I wanted to do. And then I just realized, hey, I've been an eco-friendly and cruelty-free makeup artist for over 8 years. I know a lot about eczema and sensitive skin and cosmetics and green beauty. I should apply for like beauty work or as a makeup artist at like a beauty retailer. So I actually first was considering Target because I thought it would be kind of an easy in. And the work culture seemed really good. It seemed like really open-minded and inclusive, and like they really care about their employees' well-being and quality of life. But then I also started to explore other beauty retailers like Ulta and Sephora. And Sephora's work culture and the YouTube videos about it on average actually seemed really positive. And I love that they're really promoting diversity of all, not just ethnicities, but of lifestyles and identities and expression and just like how you wear makeup. And I realized too, like, I kind of miss dressing up. I would love a job where I could just have fun dressing up and expressing myself artistically in whatever way, and it wouldn't be like a big deal, or there wouldn't be like some sort of strict dress code. And yeah, so like I started to apply to Sephora, and I got in. I got hired to work in the peninsula, and man, I have not looked back since. It is amazing. Sephora is a great company to work for. If you like people, if you're open-minded, if you care about quality of life, if you want a company that will really look out for you, like with your benefits, your hours, like, I don't know, like I'm loving it. I really love working for Sephora. I love Sephora. I love the team that I'm with. I feel like I really lucked out because we're all pretty chill. But also like really like quick-witted, like we're efficient, we're proactive, we get things done, but we can also have a good time, and we're not uptight, and it's like quite ideal. Like that's my people's, like that's what I like. That's who I am. So yeah, that really worked out. And yeah, so I started work. So I applied in January, did a couple of interviews, got hired, started working like January 31st, pretty much February. And that was like really awesome. Also, I think around that time in January, I was simultaneously applying for to audition for cover bands. I was just like, you know what? I am loving music. It is bringing me a lot of joy, a lot of happiness, a lot of confidence. I feel like I want to audition for a band. I've always wanted to be in a band. I always have seen myself, since I could remember having memories, being in a band, like a cover band, specifically a cover band for like 80s, to modern, like rock music, rock ballads, pop music, and just, I don't know, like doing shows around the Bay Area. I I don't know, it's just always been a dream. I don't necessarily see myself being like with a label or anything super huge. I mean, I'm open to it if it happens, but mostly I just want to share the music. I want to share music that I love with other people who love music, and just like bring it together and share it with others and help them have a good time, escape or distract them from the pains of life, and just kind of like transmute negative energy to positive energy with music, because it's powerful. Like music, like depending on your mood, like in the song that you hear, like it can really just transform your whole day. Hearing the right song, hearing the right lyric, like it can just really inspire you. It can transform you. It can make you take action on something. Like music's powerful, but music's also healing. Music is such a healing art. And so yeah, I started applying to various bands. I think I got like an average of an 80% response back. That was positive, and I think I auditioned for about half of the people that I responded to on Craigslist. And out of that, two people out of that I really liked in terms of energy, but only one has really followed through. So now I'm with that band and having a great time. But of course, because of quarantine, we are on a break in terms of rehearsals, but like it's a good group, good people, responsible, structured, organized. Like this is a really unusual like rock band experience. Like it's really safe and not crazy. Like, you know, I think the typical rock band experience is just people just get together and jam, and I know it might be emotional, there might be egos and all this sorts of stuff, but you know, it's sort of like my team at Sephora. It's just like pretty chill, you know, down to earth, straightforward people who just want to have a good time and see how far we can take our love of music together, and pretty open to trying new things as well. And I love it. And I'm just like so happy. So yeah, you know, shout out to Kevin and Rolf. You know, thanks for bringing like me and the other singer to your band, and just being really open and welcoming. I've had such a great time, and I can't wait till we can rehearse together again and just like get this show on the road. So yeah, and also I should say, in terms of the band auditions, I've mostly been auditioning as a singer because I love to sing. If you want to hear me sing, I have another YouTube channel. It's my personal YouTube, which is just whatever I want it to be for fun stuff that I like. Mostly it's singing and home karaoke right now, but it'll probably be other stuff in the future. I'll put a link to it down below if you want to check that out and check out my vocals. I like them. Hope you do too. Hope you do too. Oh, and then also I have started to do the whole Marie Kondo journey, where it's just tidying up your whole house. And I actually started that in December, and you know, and I don't know, and then I applied to Sephora and I got it. And I do believe that your home environment and just the space that you're in, you know, if it's a sanctuary, just can influence your mood as well. And as I started to clear things out, I just realized I was able to have the space to bring more of the things I want in. Getting rid of the stuff you don't want. Definitely create space for the things you want to bring in. So I'm still on that journey. It's quite a process, clearing out your whole house and just really making sure it only contains the things that you like. So I think I'm like 80% done. It's just, you know, there's just a couple more categories I need to sort through. And then it's just about cleaning up and replacing, like finding new places to put things and decorate. So I'm very happy and excited and proud of myself for taking that step, because it's a process, cleaning and decorating a house. Wow. I have a whole new respect for like homemakers, and you know, just like people who keep up with that stuff consistently. Like I went to a lot of Airbnb homes during my travels, and wow, looking back at all the ones that were nice, it's like, wow, kudos to those people who keep up their space. That takes a lot of dedication and consistency. And